Welcome back to Cheddar. Joining us now is Brian Anderson, interim president of 2XU, a global performance sports apparel brand. Brian, first of all, thank you so much for being down here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with us.
It's not an arm twist to be here. This is pretty cool.
Well, we like to hear that. What really makes 2XU very impressive is this graduated compression concept. First, explain to us what that is and why that really helps to set your brand apart.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. 2XU is we make sports apparel of all kinds, but what we specialize in and what we truly do better than anybody in the world is technical graduated compression. And in some markets in the world, like Scandinavia and Australia and other places, people understand what that means. But in the U.S. market, really, it's kind of a new concept. The word compression's been thrown around for a long time here by the likes of Under Armour and Nike. Most brands consider compression just tightly fitting garments. What we do is technical medical grade graduated compression. So what that means is that when you're wearing a garment, like a pair of tights or leggings, the farther you get away from your heart, the tighter the garment is. Mm-hmm. So we make fabrics that are powerful, that squeeze in. And so at the ankle, it's tightest, and at the calf, it's a little less tight, and at the quad, it's a little less tight. And what that does is promote circulation. So tons of scientific studies, and it's backed up, but it promotes circulation, promotes blood flow, gets oxygen coming, gets non-oxygenated blood back to the heart, venous return, to get more oxygen in your body, prevents lactic acid buildup, and ultimately prevents muscle soreness.
Now, do you recommend, or do people use these products for just working out in athletics, or just for everyday use as well? I mean, they frequently say, right, if you're in a job where you're standing all day, maybe not a bad idea to have some of that compression to help with the flow of blood.
Exactly right. So we're, the top uses for our product are during sport or during fitness activity, and even for recovery afterward. That's kind of the secret weapon. But standing in, people who stand up in hospitals wear compression, on airplanes. There are a lot of uses, and it really helps the body tremendously. It kind of kicks the lactic acid out, gets blood moving, gets things moving. But elite. One of the interesting things to me about this brand and about this category is that super elite athletes, the world's tip-top athletes, wear our brand, even though we don't pay them to do it, because of the benefits that it provides. And most elite team sports athletes, like LeBron, like Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, baseball players, football players, soccer players, wear our products after their sport for recovery because it helps their muscles heal and helps prevent being sore for the next day.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not just the sports world that's taking notice. Earlier this year, you guys were included in Kanye West's Yeezus fashion show during New York Fashion Week. What items exactly did Kanye West incorporate into that Yeezus collection, and what type of exposure did that do for your brand? Because it's taking you out of just the sports fitness sort of world and putting you in front street in main world fashion.
It's funny. It's we are decidedly a performance sports brand, right? We're used by athletes. We're founded by triathletes, and everything we do is about performance. But the interesting thing is that our products make your body look great. They make your butt look great when you're wearing our tights. So Kanye's team chose a wetsuit that we make for some crazy outfit at the New York fashion thing that we did. But lots of Hollywood types wear our stuff. We've seen Sofia Vergara wearing our stuff. Kim Kardashian wears it. Victoria Beckham was seen a couple weeks ago in it, and those are people who are working out and they care about fitness, but they also want to look good, and our stuff makes you look good.
Why did it take so long to get to the U.S.? You said it's in other places, but it took a while, graduated compression that is, to get here.
So it's been here for a while. Neither 2XU nor our competitors have really done a good job spreading the gospel. That's really what it's about. It's graduated compression. It's interesting. I've run several product companies in the sports industry over the last 20 years, and typically you build a business, you go make money, and then you try to get legitimacy by paying athletes to use your product. This company is completely the opposite. It's an absolute marketer's dream because we make products that are so efficacious that super elite athletes are already wearing our stuff, and we don't even pay them to do it. And now we just need to spread the word to everyone else. So, we're targeting large markets like runners because there are 50 million Americans who run, and, people who are into fitness because there are 100 million people who do that. So we're forming partnerships with, working on partnerships with Equinox and SoulCycle and Flywheel and, Orange Theory and these sort of high intensity interval training fitness kind of places because a lot of people do it and our products really help for it.
Well, your products really do focus on that recovery and performance. When you say athletes wear it after a long game, after a long football game or a basketball, baseball game, what is really that recovery that takes place because they're wearing your products?
Awesome question, and this is like the secret, right? I don't think we can legally use this tagline, but to me the best tagline for a brand would be legal steroids. It's like legal steroids. So let's take LeBron tonight and Steph, right? Both of those guys, and Nike doesn't want to hear this, and Under Armour doesn't want to hear it because they pay these athletes a lot of money. But both of those guys have been caught on camera many, many times in the locker room wearing our compression tights and tops. So they'll do an ice bath, and then they maybe use a Normatec boot to, and then they'll wear our apparel for a few hours. And what it does is it prevents lactic acid from building up in the legs. All the toxins that build up when you go hard, which mostly lactic acid, it prevents that and gets everything moving and flowing. So it prevents muscle soreness. I actually have a personal story that was pretty powerful. I'm in an interim role with 2XU. I was brought on by the private equity group for 8 months to kind of put the company on a high growth track, and I'm actually done in a month. But when I first started, was the beginning of November, I ran the New York Marathon one day without any training. I hadn't trained in months, and I started with the company the next day, and I could barely cross the finish line. I was in so much pain because I just hadn't trained in months. And I wore our compression tights that night. I slept in them. Wore our compression socks the next day, and then I slept again in our tights the second night. And by Tuesday, after a Sunday marathon, I had zero soreness.
That's pretty amazing.
It was crazy. I couldn't.
Well, it's amazing on both fronts that you just hopped up and ran 26.2 miles just because, and that you had no pain less than like 72 hours later.
It's pretty cool. Graduated compression is legit. And the difficulty for us is that the word compression is used so widely in the industry. Nike and Under Armour and Adidas and Lululemon, lots of big brands use it. But there's a difference between a tightly fitting garment and a technical graduated compression garment like ours. And we make the best in the world, hands down.
What's the pricing?
Tights are around $100. They range from 90 to 140 in the U.S. for tights, but we make lots of other garments too. Our compression socks and calf sleeves are all under $50 that go up to the knee and kind of do the same thing, sort of squeeze all the blood and fluids back up. But our big category is tights because your legs have the largest muscles. That's where lactic acid builds up when you're running, when you're doing fitness, or anything you do. Legs are going to be what sores. So compression tights is kind of our core business, and $100 is kind of our starting point.
And where can we find most of your products?
Well, 2XU.com is the best place to find it, right? We do a lot of direct-to-consumer e-com business. We also have 3 stores in California, one in LA, one in Orange, and 2 in Orange County, and we have plans to expand that. But we sell to a lot of great retailers, a lot of run specialty shops like Fleet Feet, and we're in Dick's Sporting Goods and sold in other places, but the full assortment is on our website.
Now, for people who aren't necessarily huge athletes, who don't have mentors helping them get set up with knowing what is right for them, I guess, is there a way that people can go to your website and have someone walk them through, whether it's a bot, whether it's a service, whatever it is, in terms of developing a plan or developing a look and a wardrobe of tights or sleeves, whatever they might be, that work for them?
Would you like to come work for us? That's a pretty cool idea.
I would like that. I would like someone to hold my hand through that process.
Yeah. No, we don't have a service like that. It's education is something we're tackling, right? Because we're trying to get the word out. And no, we don't have a service like that. But we have a fantastic customer service group. So anybody can always call in and say, hey, I run, I'm training for a half marathon, or I'm this, or I'm that. What do you recommend for me? And we're glad to help out.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the videos right now. You guys make jackets, you make compression tops as well.
Yep. So we make a full line of athletic apparel, right? And really highly technical stuff. So we would consider ourselves to be higher quality, higher price point than like an Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, Lulu. And that includes tops, bottoms, and including non-compression stuff, singlets and tops, running stuff, hoodies, socks, calf sleeves. But I talked about compression because that's really where we're vastly different. A lot of companies make great garments, make great sports product, but we're the only company that makes really legit, amazing graduated compression garments that help the body so much.
All right, there we have it. Brian Anderson, interim president of 2XU. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.